So you finished watching The Walking Dead or Real Housewives, but the show is really just beginning. Welcome to the day of the after show. Rachel Dodes is here beside me. She's going to tell me all about it. Sounds like the after party, right? Where all the cool kids go.
And there's actually now after shows for the after shows.
Is that
so
right?
It is really like the after party.
So we're never sleeping again.
No.
All right, let's take a step back because we know what we're talking about, but explain exactly what is an after show.
An after show is sort of a meta show. It's a show about a show, kind of like I think Bravo really started it with Watch What Happens live after Top Chef and the Real Housewives. You know, you've got a host who's it's a totally interactive experience. You're tweeting, you're texting, you're answering phone calls, and it's live, so you talk about what happened on the actual show.
So it's basically what folks have been doing already on Facebook and Twitter online for any show that people are into. I mean, if you like The Good Wife, you go online, you see people tweeting or writing about The Good Wife. But now these shows themselves are trying to, you know, earn money and own that.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like a post-game show, you know, like from a sporting event, but with like an internet twist, you know. And I think it's interesting because it expanded beyond reality shows into scripted dramas when AMC decided to do it with The Walking Dead.
And so specifically with The Walking Dead, tell us a little bit about how that after show works, Rachel.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty similar format, same exact production company as Watch What Happens, and they've got a really well-connected host, Chris Hardwick, who has 1.6 million followers on Twitter. And you know, zombies have little in common with housewives other than their tendency for violence sometimes. And so I think the shows both have a lot of suspense, and people want to talk about it. And there's also like the geek factor. So this guy, Chris, answers calls and tweets about it. It's really like a very similar thing.
And is it taking the place of sort of other original dramas that might be in that slot? Are we talking about it such a late time slot that it really wouldn't be replacing that?
No, I think normally you would have like a sort of an encore presentation. I mean, they do an encore, but they might have another one or a rerun or something else in that time slot. So it's kind of, it's inexpensive. It holds viewers' interests and sort of reroutes their you know, tweeting back into the network rather than going online.
I wonder what the challenges are for navigating this new world order, because usually you have the show, you're in and out, people comment on it later, you don't have to sort of worry about responding to everybody's comments. But if you have people tweeting, you have them asking questions on Facebook, you can't get to everybody in every show. How do they balance that?
Yeah, I was talking to Andy Cohen, who hosts Watch What Happens Live, and he says that there's 2 or 3 people who are on staff there just like going through the tweets during the show and picking out which ones are the most interesting questions.
It's interesting. You'll see a whole new sort of industry, or like, I guess, classification of workers springing up in a lot of industries to sort of just deal with social media in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the old notion of the water cooler used to be like the next day you would come in and talk about the show. What happened? Like, whose baby do you think that is? What's the deal? And now it's happening like as the show is going on.
And do they have to resort to anything like contests where they say if you participate or you come into our chat room or you tweet us, the 100th tweeter gets to meet the member of the cast? Yeah,
they sometimes give away gifts. You know, they'll give away T-shirts, things like that, and you know, it's fun for these people to have their names called out on a live show. It's like truly interactive.
Absolutely, the next incarnation of The Price is Right. You get to hear your name called out on the show and maybe win something even. All right, Rachel Dodes, great story by you on the after show. Read more about that tomorrow in the Friday Journal.